The time has finally come. Because today marks the moment that we finally conclude the pagan portion of the Nine Worthies.
If you write a sonnet, keep it under your bonnet. Oh no, that was a poem. Forgive me, Lord.
I said pagan, not Puritan. Yes, today we look at perhaps one of the more controversial members of the Nine. Though, to be fair, no man who's achieved greatness has done so without some form of controversy. But today, we analyze a Roman general, a statesman, a diplomat, and a leader. A man whose era and whose people have almost been forgotten, and yet whose name has lived on for nearly 2,000 years. And no, it's not Pontius Pilate. It's, of course, Julius Caesar. Now, obviously, we've all heard the name Caesar before, right? I mean, you have the Shakespeare play, Julius Caesar, the monkey Caesar from Planet of the Apes. You have the other monkey Caesar, Caesar salad, Caesar dressing, the Caesarean scar. You get the picture. But who was he really? What made him a member of the Nine? Well, to get into that, I guess we have to start at the beginning. Now, he was born Gaius Julius Caesar, quite the mouthful right there, sometime around 100 BC. The exact year is still unknown. And he was born to parents Gaius Caesar and Aurelia. Now, despite what you may assume, you know, him being a straight white man and all, he was not rich. He wasn't even influential. And yet, from a young age, Julius did not let this stop him. Or he decided he would bring distinction to his family and to himself through winning public office. He began a political career, literally from the bottom rung, right? Working his way from a prosecutor to a governor to a general to literally the leader of Rome itself. No adversity would stop him. No enemy would conquer him. He would become the Caesar we all know. Now, as is so popular in today's day and age, there are people who seek to try and paint him with so broad a brush that all any of us know about Julius Caesar is that he was a very, very, very bad man who was a tyrant and a dictator and blah-blah-blah-blah-blah-blah. Evil! You know, but the reality isn't so black and white. So, I would like to go over a less remembered story of Julius Caesar. You see, at the time of his arrival into this world, the Roman Republic had let certain areas under its purview fall into chaos, to say the least.
It's a madhouse! A madhouse!
He was kidnapped by pirates while en route to Rhodes. And guess what? He had to raise his own ransom. And then afterwards, guess what he did? He raised a naval force. He captured his captors and he put them to death. And he did all this while he was still a private citizen, mind you. Bet you didn't know that. Now, that success helped pave the way to a governorship in Gaul, where his prominence and skill as a leader eventually drew the eye of the Roman Republic. And out of fear of what he might one day become, a challenge to their own authority, that is, they decided to make his accomplishments, you know, fighting pirates, among other things, retroactively illegal.
What's the charge?
Pissing me off.
And that meant he could either abdicate his authority and go back home, or challenge the Roman Republic. Not so black and white. He was a swashbuckling, pirate-fighting, navy-raising, fearless man who set out to restore order to an otherwise orderless world. But it's in his conviction that we honor him as a member of the Nine, because it was that unyielding drive that was his innate, critical quality of masculinity and chivalry. The old idiom, crossing the Rubicon, that comes from him. He crossed that point of no return, and he crossed it in the pursuit of greatness, He didn't let his lack of resources stop him. He didn't let fear of the unknown slow him down. He persevered. He overcame. He carried on. He was Caesar. And so often today, we're told by the society we live in that external factors are the controllers of our fate, that we have no say in the matter, that if you're born disadvantaged, that's your permanent excuse to remain at the bottom, that if you're born with a certain shade of skin, that you'll never be enough, or equally terrible, that anything you accomplish will have been wrongfully and unfairly bestowed to you. We're told to give up, give in, abandon hope, all ye young men who enter here. But deep within us, there is something more. There is a yearning in our hearts to be men, to be free, free from doubt, free from despair, to be unshackled from the constraints of self-deprivation and fear. We long for our day in the sun. And yet we hesitate. We let that small voice inside our heads tell us to dream a little smaller and hope a little less. To abandon those desires in our hearts and to instead embrace the shackles of a society that says that you, young men and old, are not needed, nor are you wanted. And you know, for too damn long, too many of us have been doing just that, giving up. It's no wonder our world today is such an abysmal place. We want our lives to have meaning, yet we allow fear and lies to prevent us from achieving it. Which is why now, more than ever, we need to be like Caesar. We need to say no. No to complacency. No to doubt. No to fear. No to society. No to our families. No to everyone and everything that says the hallowed halls of greatness are not filled with great men, and that we are defined by our mistakes, and that our greatest fault of all has been and always will be our masculinity. We need to cross the Rubicon. We need to stare the gaping maw of the modern world in the teeth and say, we will not yield. We will not forget. We will not quit. For within us all is the greatest gift we have to offer. Our strength. The strength that empowered our ancestors to cross the oceans, to build empires, to carve out mountains. The strength of the masculine heart. How you wield it, well, that's ultimately up to you to decide. But decide you must. And as you go about your day, I want you to remember something. Remember the noble warrior. Remember the inspiring leader. Remember the fearless politician. Remember the legacy that's been passed down to you. And remember, only you can be the man you yearn to be.